President Trump has just fired the highest-ranking military officer in the country who still had years left on his term, along with several other top military officials. Air Force General Charles C.Q. Brown, who was serving as the chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, was just dismissed publicly, at least via a social media post by Trump. That's how we found out that Brown's 40-year distinguished career in the military was over, and a long-rumored move that may be shocking but is not exactly surprising based on our reporting. Just hours ago, General Brown was at the southern border assessing the military's progress and fortifying sections of the border wall. He was the successor in this role. You'll remember the person who served before him, General Mark Milley. That was who Trump handpicked, actually, to be the Joint Chiefs chairman in his first term in office. Things deteriorated from there, but Milley continued on in this role under President Biden. Now, in this post tonight, when we read it closely, the president gave no reason for why he is ousting Chairman Brown from this role, only thanking him for his service and announcing his replacement. More on who that replacement is in a moment. But behind this decision, we know Trump had been weighing replacing C.Q. Brown for months. Last November, then Fox News host and now the current Defense Secretary, Pete Hegseth, gave this reason for why he thought Brown should be fired.
Well, first of all, you got to fire. You got to fire the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, and you got to fire this. I mean, obviously, you're going to bring in a new Secretary of Defense, but any general that was involved, general, admiral, whatever that was involved in any of the DEI woke, it's got to go.
Now, that was before Hegseth had been nominated to be the defense secretary, accusing the four-star fighter pilot as being, quote, involved in any of the woke DEI. It was quite a contrast to what we saw and heard from Secretary Hegseth weeks later when he said he was looking forward to working with Chairman C.Q. Brown, who saluted Hegseth's motorcade upon his first arrival at the Pentagon in January.
You've got to get a lot of that deadwood out of the way because they will thwart anything you're trying to do. They will not support it. I'm just telling you, Trump saw some of this in his first term. If he's doing something that the Pentagon doesn't like, they will do everything they can to thwart it. You have to replace people and get people in these positions who are capable, who are qualified, who are really good at what they do, have a good track record, and are willing to get on board with obeying the orders of the commander-in-chief. That's one of the things I think he needs to do.
Danny, ABC News is reporting that Joint Chiefs Chairman C.Q. Brown is on that list.
Wow. Okay. Well, he hadn't even been in position very long. I personally haven't seen any of these people's files, so I can't really comment on whether he is or isn't qualified. I just don't have any idea. But that's why a commission needs to put together. This needs to be, they got to be careful how they do it. They can't just come in and just one-timely start firing everybody because they may get rid of some guys who are great. As much as I've complained in the past about fire the generals, I've actually got some articles on that over the years where I said that's what we should do. You don't want to just come in with a meat cleaver and get rid of everybody. You may get rid of somebody who's really good because we do thankfully have some really highly qualified general officers and senior colonels, et cetera, who could be advanced up in there. So you got to do it smart. You can't just one time do it. So you do need to be very careful how you do it, but I'm afraid it needs to be done or any of these reforms are just not going to happen.